What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another book club with Ryan. By the way, let me know if you like this style of casual videos or not. Let me know if you like it down in the comments. But regardless, today I realized that this is a ginormous week and month for Vinland Saga. Not only did we get the premiere of Vinland Saga Season 2, which premiered the other day, and it's going to be running, there's 24 episodes, so that shit's going to be running until April, May, I don't even know how long. I can't do math, but it's going to be airing for a while. So there's that. We're also getting a new chapter at the end of this month. And I almost forgot, but book 13 of the manga actually released this week in the West where I am. I'm in the United States, so I don't know where you guys are, if you have it already or if you don't. But I pre-ordered this a while back, and it just got released today, so I thought I would do a little brief kind of review of the release of the volume. I have already reviewed all of these chapters one by one, but that kind of brings me to another reason why I wanted to talk about this in a video, is because while getting book 13, I realized that this has the chapter in it that I began reviewing Vinland Saga chapter by chapter. Once I finally caught up to the manga, read through all the volumes, and where I started giving reviews a couple of years ago, this has that chapter in it. And it also goes all the way up to chapter 191, which I did not realize was going to be in this volume. And it probably is my favorite Vinland Saga chapter of all time, and also could theoretically be an ending if you wanted to end Vinland Saga on a very positive note. And the fact that this book ends with that chapter, it kind of feels very poignant in that way that, you could, if you wanted to, after finishing reading this volume, you could put this down and just pretend nothing bad was ever going to happen ever again. So, it's got some important things in it because of that for me personally, and also for the story. I haven't read through it yet, so I'm excited to just kind of reread it and go back and experience, because I haven't read these chapters since they came out, so I'm excited to kind of go back and reread it and re-experience it. But essentially, let me just show you the cover real quick, which I really, really enjoy. You get the entire cast of the characters of the settlers going to Vinland. Of course, we got Thorfinn, my lovely, long, dark-haired goddess Gudrid right there. We got the other Thorfinn. I actually heard a fun fan theory that, Thorfinn was an actual historical figure, but most of the events in the story is fictionalized. But I also heard a funny fan theory that wouldn't it be great if the Thorfinn that history actually talks about actually turns out to be this Thorfinn? like this Thorfinn is the one that goes on this journey and does all this crazy shit. But then it'd be funny if at the end of the day, whether or not either something bad happens to him or not, and that this Thorfinn is the one around to tell the story, that people associate the history with going and settling on Vinland of that era with that Thorfinn. I thought that would be freaking hysterical if that happens. But yeah, you got Einar, Hild, Ivyr, and his two buddies, and of course, Cordelia, who doesn't quite fit on the cover, but what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? Anyways, so you open it up here. We got some nice kind of colored artwork there. That would be the cover of one of the volumes, and then of course you get the full. You actually get to see Cordelia here, so you actually get to see her there. But yeah, man. So this goes, and you know what? This is probably the most peaceful volume of Vinland Saga, because this follows the journey of when they start their voyage, sailing out on the sea and finding Vinland. But specifically, I wanted to talk about, real quick, this will not be a long video, I promise, chapter 178. Okay, chapter 178, because that is the chapter where I began to review Vinland Saga chapter by chapter when it started coming out. And so just looking at this here and actually seeing it in the physical volume format and not not online, and how long it's taken to do that. It hasn't been too long. It's been a little over 2 years, but still, it just sort of is one of those strange moments where it's okay, now everything has kind of come full circle. And it has all the chapters of them trying to find their spot, and it's got a lot of the conversations between Ivyr and Thorfinn and their kind of crash on ideologies. It's got setting up the Arnid statue. And all of that stuff is in here. So, this is a great volume, an essential one to have. It's got the Introduction of the Natives, which I'm trying to find here, wherever they are. Yep, Introduction of the Natives there. So it's got all that, but the most important thing it has is chapter 191, which is the final chapter that's in here, and I believe this chapter came out in February of last year, which is kind of crazy because that, it feels like it's been a really long time with the early chapters, but this chapter being in here, the turnaround seems really, really short because it hasn't even been a year since it was officially released, and now it's actually coming out in volume format. So that's kind of crazy. But it's chapter 191, which is called The Day Arrives. And it truly could be potentially, like, if you wanted it to be a final chapter, you could. Like, you could just read this chapter and then just go on with your life and just pretend everything is great. Because it's got such great resolution for a lot of the characters, the culmination of everything Thorfinn's been trying to do, just that image right there, that sums it up, that sums it up right there. And not to mention the finale of the chapter, which, spoiler alert, where Hild finally forgives Thorfinn for the death of her father. And it is such an impactful moment, and ending the chapter pretty much on this speech right here. You went to the ends of the earth to release me from my curse of vengeance. You fought long and hard. You are a true warrior, which is the themes of the entire series, and what it means for Thorfinn to go through and experience all of that, and to never feel like he ever would deserve Hild's forgiveness. And for real, there's no reason why she would need to, right? But the fact that they grow as characters, and the fact that she is able to see like how genuine Thorfinn is about wanting to create this world and the things that he went through in order to do it, and just holding on to her own vengeance, and just the symbolism of like the bear from before, of how it is just predators doing their thing. There wasn't anything personal involved, and Thorfinn being able to move on from that. There's just a lot of like beautiful shit in there, and the way that it's presented, I think, is done very well. I love the imagery of it, and Gudrid also is pregnant, man. Look at that. Look how adorable that is. Don't you just want to move to a new land and start farming and then like impregnate a girl? Like, that's what I want to do in my life. But anyways, Vinland Saga Volume 13 is now available if you wanted to pick it up. I pre-ordered it, but I'm sure you could find this in like Barnes & Noble or wherever sells manga right now. And this will keep you as up to date with Vinland Saga as you can be in physical release form. And actually, there's only been, I think, 7 chapters since this. So if you're not caught up and you get here and you read through this, then you're pretty much there. You're pretty much caught up with the rest of us. So big month for Vinland Saga, man. Season 2, book 13, new chapter coming out. This is crazy. So anyways, guys, if you have volume 13, if you picked it up, let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think about the contents therein, what you think about the storytelling and the characters of it. And other than that, guys, thanks for watching this video. Another book club with Ryan, just an off the cuff. Let's talk about manga volumes on my couch. Why not? And you get to look at a Buffy poster in the background, which is always nice. Or Heisenberg, whatever you want to do. Anyways, guys, love you. I'll talk to you next time.